Welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII, and we're gonna finish Disc 2 in this part. This is totally the final battle! Totally!
We swear!
Anyway, there's a ring called the Solomon Ring, and if you use it, you called upon me.
You are supposed to get this ring in Disc 3, but again, you don't really need to do many things. Doom Train.
Doom Train.
Yeah, I'm about to mention a thing about the name, but you're not supposed
Doom Train is awesome.
You're not supposed to do really anything, but you only have to read some of the magazines that are scattered through the game, like stuff like the Timber Maniacs that mention occult stuff. And after a certain point, you need to get one of the places where you normally go in the game, because it's called Tears Point, and you will automatically get the ring, which summons this particular GF. Now, regarding the name, if I recall correctly, this is another thing of a localization, but it's a bit all over the place because the original, there we go. Doom's Japanese name is Glacial Abolas, which might, if in case you need to know, is a name of a recurring monster of the franchise. The problem is that the design of being, a demonic train makes no sense with the previous design that Glacial Abolas had. Which is in turn a reference to one of the demons of Goetia. So instead it was, renamed Doom Train in America. For the French localization, instead it's called Hell Train, also for the Spanish. But for my country, they decided to get a bit creative and call in Caronte, which is a more colorful name to call the Italian name of Charon, the guardian of Hades, and essentially the ferryman who drags the souls of the dead. So there's a bit of a same idea, just in a more elegant way. Instead of being a ferryman, it's a literal train, which connects to the whole phantom train of Final Fantasy VI, which is pretty cute.
That being said, let me put it in a much more simpler way. Basically, Shiroyan Dweebs, I meet you, Satanic Thomas the Tank Engine.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna be quite honest. Doom Train is a contender for my favorite GF in this game.
It has the same function.
Tell me when he comes up so I can do the musical accompaniment.
Sure. Don't worry. I'm gonna show him in this part if I remember correctly.
It has the same function of Hades in the Summon of Hades in FS7. It basically deals an area of attack that deals a shit ton of debuffs. So that's pretty cool, especially if you don't have Twisties in your party with bad breath, so if you want to use that, you can do that. And also the supporting abilities that he brings are also relatively useful. Again, keep in mind I'm speaking for someone who wants to play the game as intended. So there's that. Now, here's the thing instead about Galbadian Garden. The monster inside make absolutely no sense. Also, hi Fujin and Raijin.
Oh, these two clowns again.
Let's just go. Let's get it over with, See,
yeah.
Request.
What?
Friend request?
We'll leave it Seifer up to you now, We don't know what's going on anymore, I can't even pick a voice properly,
Not to self, hire better sidekicks.
We just want the old Seifer back,
Friendship with Fujin and Raijin ended. Now Edea is my best friend.
He probably thinks he can't go back now.
And he can't.
It's time for me to knock him down a peg. Alright. I'll kick his ass back down to your level.
And that's basically it.
Again, not only you fight some monsters that you found before, like the Shadow that Pedro showcased a bit before, which you would normally find in the Link City sewers, but at some point you can get to an hockey field and you fight actual hockey player monsters.
I don't even understand.
Me neither. Like
Friday the 13th reference.
The franchise always had.
Let me just explain the gimmick of this dungeon first, though, too. Please don't kill me. I'm not your enemy.
Why are you then?
Those bastards stormed in during class and just took over this place.
So, Edea and her forces have nothing better to do than to just commandeer a school.
Most of the students were kicked out then. You guys came to fight the sorcerers, right? Here, you can have this.
Thank you, Mr. Dissident.
Card key number 1. So basically, this dungeon works like a place in the Metal Gear Solid series. Basically, you need key cards to open doors. There's a total of 3 key cards, And every time you get to a door in this game that's locked, it tells you what kind of lock it is. Obviously, you need the key card or the number corresponding to whatever locked door it is. So basically, just bumble around the dungeon until you find whoever has the other key cards before you move on, basically.
Thankfully, unlike Metal Gear, you can hold all the key cards proper.
You don't have to swap them all the time. But to be fair, okay, the franchise had its history of very
here we go.
bizarre.
Here you go, hold on. Alright, Dibs, go ahead.
Oh boy.
Wait till he comes up.
You have to wait until that blue bar decreases all the way. Because that's the cooldown thing for the GFs.
Yeah, but there's also another trio that I'll mention after the summon, but you're gonna like that too, Dibs, believe me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, we got. Right.
Micro missiles.
You'll look
Wow.
very though.
You didn't mean to know.
Yeah, I probably should have
Aye.
sped it up a bit.
And not attack all the time.
Well, to be fair, if he attacks them too much, then he won't be able to show off. them
Exactly.
too.
There we go.
There
Okay.
we go. Alright.
We're gonna say a close-up of his face in a moment.
What
There you go. There you go.
Only thing to do, said Thomas.
Yeah.
And all that for 0 damage.
Because okay, here's the trivia, Dweebs. Apparently, in the debug menu, the original name intended for Doomtrain, at least in the English version, it was supposed to be Death Express. But get this, for the Japanese version, meaning that's the original idea name that the Japanese developer wanted to say, Doomtrain's name is supposed to be Devil Thomas.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Thomas the Tank Engine is really popular
In Japan,
so,
that makes way too much sense.
It's an interesting idea to us, but I think you could have gone further. Like, basically, to give you an idea, basically, if about like 13 years ago or so, there was a TV show, a variety show on my country that actually did a really cool thing. They got a hard metal, one of those Moonspell type bands, to do a cover of the Noddy theme song. And they literally go, that little doll thing that I don't know if it's in America.
Oh god, I can't imagine how that would have gone.
It's the That's literally what they do. That's actually exactly what they do.
Oh no!
You think that's Red Shiroi? There's a child in the audience while they're doing this, and he looks stupefied as he hears it.
I gotta see
usually
this.
all-
I would be
After we're done, I gotta see this.
It's similar.
Yeah.
It's similar to how Ailstorm did an actual, legitimately, rock version of You're a Pirate.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That's what I would have done if I Dwebs. I would have done a Moonspell cover of
maybe the G Major version, to besides the creepiness.
Dibs.
Here we go.
Dibs?
It's BRB. Leave me alone. I'm busy.
Go away.
Pretty much.
Okay. Now that's
But
what I
yeah,
would have done. I would have done.
that's also
Go ahead.
That's also the thing. Aside from the occasional weird monsters like the Hockey player, the Galbadian Garden is surprisingly desert. I get the idea they want to say, all the forces have tried to attack Alam's garden, so the garden is exposed right now, but this makes no sense. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Not to mention, if I recall correctly, we don't really meet again the director of Galbadian's garden.
No, Martin decided to quit after Norg was defeated as well.
I mean, I don't really blame him, but still.
Remember, it's Norg and Martin, friends to the end, and they will. And so probably Martin is trying his best to help out Norg. So, all right,
He's sort of comatose at the moment.
all right. So now we get into the outside deck, I guess. into a sports field.
That jump.
Yeah, you should. And now your legs are broken. Just saying.
Well, actually, okay. Actually, you can fall from a distance that far and not break your legs, so long as you know how to land properly. And I would assume that these guys are trained enough to learn how to land properly.
Okay, fine. Theo.
Sure.
We're about to. Let me just first introduce the upcoming boss battle. Basically, everybody, we're about to fight one of the optional summons, which is a Cerberus. Which, well, the name pretty much tells you what he is. It's exactly what you think when you hear that name. Go ahead.
It's not the first time the franchise actually introduced it. But speaking of localizations, Pedro did ask this question a couple of parts ago about how Minga is called in other countries. I already shared mine. Unfortunately, I couldn't provide the answer, but my friend who actually regulates the Italian wiki actually did his research and found me the follows. You have full free answer because that's the one remaining for the multi-5. In French, it's called le brute, which could mean the brute, but it's more referred to the bully. It means mostly that. For Spanish, is guardian con mala cara, which is roughly translated with a person with an evil frown, evil face. And in German is unsympathischer Typ, which means unsympathetic person. I still believe that my country got the best of the bunch. Sorry.
I prefer mean guy because mean guy makes it sound petty.
Yes. Yes, it does.
All right. All right. So that's it. Mean guy and disgusting person.
You know what?
Also, I checked. Sorry, go on, Joe.
You know what's funny, Tia? When you mentioned that you had more information on Mean Guy off commentary, I actually originally thought that you had actually found more lore on him.
No. To be fair.
Of all the I demand a Mean Guy Japanese novel. God damn it!
How did he came to be and all?
Yes.
Yeah,
Where did he go?
For some reason, Galbadian's Garden is a GF right in the middle of its hall. I really don't understand. I guess we wanted to just pull a boss before Seifer and Idea and just decided to put it there. Keep in mind that if you don't face it now, you can actually absorb it later from one of the boss of this court. So,
which I did. Which I already did here. So
yeah, so you don't really go on. Also, I checked in the meantime. Apparently, Martine is still foundable because after the assassin shot in Disc 1, it's mentioned that he is disgraced and he actually flees, and you can find him in Fisherman's Horizon, and he tells you. But to be honest, I didn't know about this until now, so I never bothered to check.
Again, that's always kind of an issue I have with the PlayStation era Final Fantasies. I don't know, something about them feels like they can be incredibly cryptic with,
Jova. It's a theme already since the beginning. I have to remind you also for the original version, but in general, for Final Fantasy VI, getting Gogo is something that you probably don't even know what to do without a guide.
Yeah.
Because you actively need to search a specific monster, also in a specific place, and allow it to use a specific attack, and then proceed through its following dungeon in a specific pattern. So believe me, Jova, no, the series did not start to be like this with the PlayStation era.
Oh, trust me, I get that. It's just something about the PlayStation era in particular feels kind of annoying about it.
I mean, just be glad that it's relegated to an NPC that you normally don't even care about, instead, getting an actual playable character.
I guess, to be fair, that is one thing. 8 of Voids is, being arbitrarily cryptic with getting something like an extra character.
Okay, here's the thing also about Cerberus as a summon. You'd think that it would do some cool shit, like attack all the enemies like 3 times, dealing non-elemental damage. But no, it casts double and triple on your party. Basically, it casts 2 types of buffs. Keep in mind, they are good buffs, because exclusive to this game, and they allow you to cast multiple spells at the same time, essentially like 2 or 3 times in a row, like a fire or Firaga, stuff like that. But that's it. It just causes buffs to your party, and it's the last thing that I'm expecting for someone like Cerberus.
Don't you see? One for each head.
That's the kind of summon effect that I would expect for something like Carbuncle, but it's not doing reflect. Which in turn is something that you can kind of do with 9. In 9, Echo version of Carbuncle can be essentially customized once you learn it, depending on the gemstone that you equip. You can even do reflect, shell, protect, regen. You can give you basically a buff depending on the type of gemstone that you have equipped, which is pretty cool.
Alright, so now that hopefully we're done junctioning our party.
Actually, no, it's gonna be for another 2 minutes.
Okay, Dwibs, juggle something to entertain the audience.
One thing I will say, I'm glad it's not the British definition of the term junctioning, otherwise I'd be watching these characters driving on an endless motorway for God knows how long.
Alright.
I got a joke.
Go ahead.
What?
What do you get when you mix Squall with Zell?
What?
A bad sitcom?
2 annoying pricks.
Nah.
Ha.
Anyway, anyone else find it weird how...
Well, Joe, there's not much joy to be gotten from this game. So in a way, I've kind of fitted in with this game's grasp on anything.
Anyway, anyone else find it weird how Quistis' portrait has her without glasses?
Yeah, that is.
Sorry, Joe?
Quistis is without glasses in her portrait, right there in the hand-drawn art. Well, that's the thing, Jova. Well, let me actually take a look at the other artwork that Nomura made, because I think there's some artwork that has her with glasses. It's just I don't understand why they picked this one for her portrait. Let me just Quistis artwork. If I remember correctly, there is some artwork. Some official artwork from the game with her with glasses. Let me just... no, I don't want the porn ones. Fuck off, Google Images.
I was gonna say, Rule 63.
Hey, it's not my fault that Google...
Rule 63, that's the gender-bending rule.
Yes.
Basically, if there is something, there's always a gender-bent version of it. It's Rule 34 you're thinking of.
Well, Teo can help me on this anyway, too. The particular hand drawing for Nomura that they picked for her portrait in this menu has her without glasses. Is there any of Nomura's original artwork that depicts her with glasses?
Okay, not that I know, but I already have a tab on the wiki. Let me check quickly.
Because I'm trying to see if I can find. Yeah, the ones that I can think, the ones that I can find that are official are the one that we saw there. The one.
That's kind of the problem, Pedro. Most of Nomura's artworks in this game are almost impossible to find. But no,
oh, really?
I can tell you this: there probably is not one with the glasses, because the artworks are in turn based on the CG portraits, which that one also doesn't have classics. Anyway, here's Cerberus in action. Again, look at that. You expect something cool out of the shit, like he fires like a triple laser or something.
That's the thing, Jova. It even applies in the game itself, because in the game itself, she only wears glasses when she's wearing her teacher outfit.
And there you go. That's it. Just buffs your party.
So is she just wearing them for aesthetic then?
I guess. Well, maybe they're just reading glasses. Maybe she only needs them when she's reading.
Yeah.
It's weird because I remember her wearing glasses in other times during Disc 1 when we were, not in teaching moments as well.
I'm gonna check in the meantime because I don't remember right now. I don't remember if she actually wears them in Opera Omnia or not. So
I can tell you that. Sure. Well, if it helps you, Jova, in World of Final Fantasy, she wears glasses all the time. So there's that.
I guess it depends on the person developing, I guess.
Remind me, did her portrait always have her without glasses, or did it have glasses on?
No. The hand-drawn artwork you see in the game in the menus, yes, it always is that one without the glasses. Yes. Here's the last card key. I'll open the lock on the. It will open the lock on the elevator.
Thank you.
The Sorceress's room is on the top floor. Good luck, guys. Good luck.
Wow, these students really do hate the Sorceress.
To be fair, I can expect a split.
I mean,
between
they
the
have good
students.
reasons, to be fair.
Yeah.
Alright, and now it's time to finally face the sorceress and his pet, and his
Her pet.
and her pets.
Sorceress isn't dead by the time we get there, is she?
No, we don't pull that. Oh, look who showed up, finally.
Oh, hey, it's that guy who I flipped the bird to out the window.
Oh, you guys shouldn't have. I was gonna come visit you in my whole home.
You do realize you're a mommy's boy, right? Shut up.
There's gonna be time for therapy later, after I paint the walls with your blood. Did you guys come to fight Matron? After all that she's done for us?
You mean bomb our schools and everything? Yeah, she's got
Instructor Trip, I'm still one of your dearest students. Basically, Seifer is gonna tell each party, depending on your party member.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
That's too bad. Oh, Reno, what you're doing here? You're gonna find me too? Come on, remember, you're a goalie.
La 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 la! I'm not listening to this!
Also, Scott really having to deal with my sloppy seconds.
Stop it!
I don't want to imagine those two doing it. I don't want to imagine those two doing it.
Well, Job,
It's
in
too
that
late.
well, in that case, Joba, don't ever watch Spoonie's review because he does that to you. He shows the non-pornographic bits of the anti-dojins just to show you them kissing. So I'm gonna ruin Squall Reno's romance for you, and he shows that bit from the dojins.
Whatever. It's too late for you, Seifer. You can't mess with our minds. To us, you're just another monster to defeat.
You're comparing me to one of them?
You're comparing yourself to me.
You're not even good enough to...
Oh,
I agree those words.
I am no monster. I am the Sorceress Knight.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So, her lapdog.
Call it whatever you want. You're still her lapdog.
Her
Look at
bitch.
you attacking like a swarm.
This guy is such a wasted character. He spends 80% of the time off screen, and when he is on screen, he's just saying stupid things.
You guys are the monsters.
Right.
Lady, you have terrible sitting posture.
Is that a
Hold
good
on.
example, Pedro, of what you just described?
What? Wait, what did I just describe?
Of saying stupid stuff. You guys
Let's go after the monsters.
Excuse me? What does that
What?
mean?
I get the idea that Richard did not know how to translate this part.
Whatever. This is, the basic point is to see the problem with Seifer. That again, we never get any insight into his big his deeper motivations and his overall thoughts on the whole situation, because again, most of the time he's just doing shit off screen. So we never really seriously they build him up as Squall's primary rival, and he barely shows up in this game.
That's very good to do.
Why? You cheated again!
Cheated? I just used a limit break. Limits are meant to be broken, dumbass.
There's no point in speaking to him.
No, Shira. He didn't actually say that. That was just Teo joking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Worthless
Pedro,
child. Sorry, I got distracted. Worthless child. Bye.
You're fired.
Oh man, it's internet
The
again
game-
only
the-
tonight.
The game wants to waste some bit of our time. Go ahead.
The bracket auditorium bracket is right down below. Come on, guys. We don't need to deal with the sorceress's lapdog anymore.
Yeah, this
Aye.
in a lot of ways this feels like padding, a little bit of padding on part of the game, because we could have just fought the sorceress here, but for some reason the game wants us to fight her at the auditorium. I don't
Because the auditorium is where you have a true final fight.
Then why not starting at the auditorium to begin with?
I don't know, Teo. I don't know, Joe. I'm actually going to disagree. I think
Oh, here we go.
I think the throne room is a much more climatic location.
Not just that, Jova. We're kind of need a dynamic entrance, as you're about to see.
What's going on? What?
So is he dead now?
One of my favorite
Seifer,
one of my
yeah.
favorite one of my favorite lines in Final Fantasy.
Oh, snap.
Okay, I'll say it after this.
She literally crashed through the ceiling.
So the time has come. You're the legendary seeds destined to face me.
Yes, mother. I am the wielder of the gunblade. What is she talking about?
Squall, you had 2 discs to learn this shit. Come on.
I must say that I am impressed, even though I literally just said that you are unimpressive, but whatever. An impressive nuisance.
See?
Your life ends here.
Ah.
Seed.
Her mood just
you
flips
go.
here and there.
My name is Squall. Indeed.
Wait, how did you get here? Worthless fool.
You're not our matron.
By the way, how did he get here so fast? All seeds must perish.
Determination.
He
Okay.
just doesn't know when to give up.
No, especially for me, Jova, because I love climatic showdowns in a throne room. One of my favorite lines ever in the Final Fantasy is in the climax of 15.
I'm the Sorceress Knight. You'll never get past me.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, let's get past him.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But without spoiling anything, there's a really great line that Nata says in the climax of 15, where there's someone in his throne, and he literally says, "Hey asshole, get out! That's the king's seat." So-
Okay,
Oh shit.
He's barely able to step.
let's try this again.
Bastard. I'm disgraced.
You're more than disgrace. You are nothing but a pathetic little bitch. Defeated. Useless fool. Enough play. Seeds must die. Maelstrom!
Now here's where the real fight begins. First of all, routine information. The GF video can absorb from Medea is Alexander, surprisingly. I don't understand why they put the holy elemental, someone for the dark sorceress,
I
but whatever.
fucking hate the Maelstrom attack, especially in
Yeah.
9.
Normally in games, a Maelstrom just reduces all your HP to 1, but in this case, like, it casts a shit ton of debuffs.
Well, yeah, and that does that in 9 too. That's the thing. It comes across as a very cheap move just to artificially increase the difficulty of the boss.
Okay,
Whatever.
I hope you guys are ready, because the plot is about to kinda collapse onto itself, so get
Well,
ready.
implying that it hasn't already.
Even more than before.
Been slowly-
Ah, and she exploded in pink gas.
Also, say goodbye to Seifer for a very long while, actually.
Well, we're used to that.
Whatever,
Even
Teo.
more than now.
Like he matters. Go ahead, Jova.
My body. We won, right? Right? I think we
No,
did.
That's
you're
not
dead.
mentioning
This
this.
This is heaven now.
Remember, Shiroi, like you yourself said, he refuses to die.
Renoa. I think this happens regardless of whether or not.
I appreciate, but I told Squall I don't really care about you anymore.
Who's sloppy seconds now? Or would that make her my sloppy triplets? Renoa. Seifer.
Whatever, see you for this free asshole.
Those two making out? Oh, thank God they are.
I don't think so.
It's like in Deathly Hallows Part 1,
Oh.
Squall season in loop.
Renoa fell over again.
Renoa face planted into the ground.
Renoa, are you alright?
What do you think?
Squall, Quistis, Selfie.
We're right here.
Come over here, you
Oh.
bitch.
Okay, here's where things get in.
So yeah, after beating the crap out of her, she's now good again. Irvine, Zell,
Wait, what?
you've all grown so much and become so strong.
Oh, nice of you.
After everything, it's
I have waited for this day to
Still
come, and also feared this day would come. What? Is today a joyous day or an odious day? Stop being.
Purple Pro.
Stop being. Where is Elone? Have I protected Elone? Cut your pretentiousness, game. Like seriously.
Miller took over.
Ugh.
I don't understand.
I
You
don't-
and me, Squall. You and me.
Squall.
That's Quistis.
Oh, sorry. Squall. It's Renoa. I know it's Renoa.
Okay.
Thank you,
Now,
Captain Obvious. Go ahead.
Okay, now if I recall correctly, this scene with Renoa happens even if you don't choose to bring her along initially back outside.
I think so, yes. Well, it kind of has to, considering the upcoming plot point. So there you go.
That's how Disc 2 ends.
That's how Disc 2 ends, yes.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Well, is
That
it
was
over?
anticlimactic.
Can we go home now?
Well, to be
Guess
well,
now we
technically,
just have an epilogue now.
yeah, an epilogue of comprising of 2 discs.
I mean, hey, we kicked Seifer's butt. We defeated the sorceress, who I guess is now our friend. So
Somehow.
And
Nowhere.
Shiroi. Remember how you said in the previous part that probably the plot is gonna make him give a shit about the relationship? Well, this is where it starts. Out of fucking nowhere.
Starting for Disc 3, Bind, your Squall is gonna...
From this point on, Shiroi, Squall is gonna live entirely and uniquely for Renoa.
It's gonna be always Reno this, Reno that, I need to protect her, stuff like that.
There
okay,
you go.
now to be fair, Renoa suddenly collapsing like that, and maybe her not being dead. I get it, that could be a motivation to show that Squall really does care for her. What I think is weird though is why aren't the whole party this worried about her?
For me, it's different, Jova. For me, it's one of those cases where, again, the plot, unlike Final Fantasy IX, the plot doesn't build up to moments like this. There's a complete shift in characterization whenever the writer demands it to be. Whereas a good writer would actually gradually build things to this point, so that when it happens, it makes perfect sense and feels earned.
You know what this feels like? This feels like if our gags about Aerith being a bratty yandere in our original 7 playthrough were made into canon, but we were still supposed to care for Aerith after she was killed.
Also, for another
that.
edition of things that this game forgets ever existed, and doesn't reference or show them on the map ever again, Galbadian's Garden now is gone.
Yep.
Completely. It's almost like it was destroyed. It's nowhere to be seen on the map.
Tio, gone. Reduced to atoms.
I really don't understand this. I really don't. Why don't you just put it back to where it was in this one?
It's simple, Teo. This is what we call lazy writing. Whenever the writer doesn't need a specific thing from the world or a character from the world anymore for his purpose, he just pretends that character or place doesn't exist anymore.
And for the record, no, if I recall correctly, the game doesn't even mention a throwaway line. There you go. It's not even like a throwaway line that you can ask to an NPC, in a place or something. No. Nobody knows where the fuck Galbadia Garden went.
So I know what you're saying.
This is unacceptable. I'm sorry.
I agree.
So here's what you're probably thinking. Now what? Well, we go talk to Mother, of course. Now that she's no longer crazy.
Basically, yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Plot-wise, all the heavy stuff has really been solved, seeing as how the sorceress up to this point was the big heavy or whatnot. There's not really a transition.
Well, Seifer did mention to get away, so...
Yeah, but honestly, Tio... Oh, okay. Well, honestly speaking, does Seifer really pose that much of a threat, all things considered, at the point?
Well, it has established that it's kind of a loose cannon, so... Yeah, yes, maybe not super effective, but maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, so before we close this part, Shiroi, I gotta ask. Now that the game has completely devolved, and I do mean allow me to emphasize the word devolved into basically becoming a fan fiction of itself, which is kind of impressive when you get right down to it. Do you think young fanfic lover Shiroi would have liked this game?
I don't know. I didn't like RPGs very much.
No, okay, it's the story specifically.
I've liked some shit in terms of fan fiction, so probably.
There you
Okay.
go.
Here's a better question, Shiroi. Are you still enjoying the story, ironically or for real?
This
Either
part
way.
was pretty stupid, but we'll see how it goes. Because, like, honestly, up until this point, I have been enjoying this. It's not good, but it's funny.
No. That's
So-
definitely true. You've been enjoying this ironically. I mean, in terms of enjoying it unironically. That's what I meant with my question.
Yeah.
I mean, aside for a couple of moments, no, I haven't been genuinely enjoying anything. So,
Okay, well,
It's like I
okay.
said,
Let me
it's
be
not-
as specific as I can with my question. Do you think young fanfic lover Shiroi would have found this romantic?
probably.
There you go, Jova.
I don't
I've read
know.
worse.
It's like I've said with the story. It's not even a purely bad game. It just feels like a bunch of good ideas conveyed incredibly horribly.
Yeah, and that's what makes it a bad game, Jova.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm not even quite sure I'd call it again. It technically plays fine. Sure, it can get a bit boring, but it's fine. It's not legit bad like 13, but it is, like I said, definitely one of the weakest of the Final Fantasy games.
Oh well, everybody. Tune in next time where we start our
Things get even more interesting.
because now we have to try our best, Shiroi, to save Renoa from her coma.
Also, Shiroi, I know it may seem a bit late, but get ready for a new party member.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically. That's the thing. She's only there for a while anyway, so it doesn't really matter much in the grand scheme of things. All right.
I know, but you know.
See ya.
Well, someone has to take Renoa's place, I guess. So, see everybody.
See ya.
So, yeah.
Yeah.